Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Jeannie and I had a vision for an untraditional Christmas mani, so I'm going to be using some new products to help create this look. So during the Black Friday sale, I did pick up some Adrada products. I've heard really great things about this company, but I haven't tried them before. So I picked up the 4-step dip liquid system. So that's the pH bonder. And then we've got the base activator and top coat. So I'm really excited to try her dip liquids. These are the Extreme Shine set. So definitely curious to see how those perform, as well as I did pick up some powders as well. I've been eyeing her Milky collection for quite a while, so I decided to pick up a few of the Milky colors. So I've got Milky Pink, Milky Purple. Is anyone really surprised? And the Milky Gray, which, purple and gray are my favorite colors, so of course I had to pick those up. And she also had a special where if you bought a 1 ounce of her crystal clear, you got a 1/2 ounce for free. So I went ahead and picked those up because I know a lot of people rave about her clear. So I'm really excited to try these products. I decided to do a French manicure, and because I have on short tips, I thought I'd try out using the Spoonful of Chaos by Chaos Concepts to see if that would work so I could use less powder for my tips. I'm also going to be using my DIY Lite stickers from Decals by Melissa. This is from her November sub bag that I got, and I thought these were so cute, and wait till you see the lights. They are so neat. I don't have a white from Adrada yet, so I'm going to be using my iGel Beauty French White to create my tips. So what I'll do is I'll pour a little bit of that French white into the bottom of the Spoonful of Chaos, and that'll kind of hold in my powder, and hopefully I'll be able to slide in my tip and create that really great French line because I do have on short square tips right now. So getting into the Adrada dip liquids, getting into the dip base, I'm just giving it a sniff. It actually doesn't smell strong at all, so that I'm happy about. And then if you see here, the liquids are pretty thin, so I'm definitely curious to see how they work for this manicure. There's always a learning curve every time you're using new liquids, and the same holds true for these Adrada liquids. It was definitely an odd experience for me, which I'll explain in a little bit, but I think it's more user error rather than the liquids, so I'll definitely be trying these again. So once I've got my layer of dip base on my index finger, I'm going to pick up my Spoonful of Chaos and gently guide my index finger into the powder at an angle, and I usually like to go up to the end of my natural smile line to get that line, and then I'll tap off the excess powder, and then I'm going to pour over the Milky Purple to absorb the rest of that dip base. And then because the Adrada dip base is a thinner liquid, I did flood my cuticles because, like I said, it's a learning curve. I have to get used to using these liquids and how thin they are. So a little more cleanup than usual, but that's okay because I'm used to that, and I knew there would be a learning curve to using these new liquids. But you always want to make sure you are cleaning up any of that excess liquid and powder just so you don't cause any lifting. In order to get a clean French line, you always want to make sure your powder is even and level. So I'm just shaking my Spoonful of Chaos here just to level out the powders because I did push in the powders when I was dipping in my index finger. So we're going to go through my middle finger again just so I could walk you through the process. So I'm going to apply a thin, even layer of my dip base, and I did get a bit on my skin, so I'm just cleaning that up. And then at an angle, I am going to slowly slide my middle finger into that French white, and then I will adjust as needed just to get it even, but I'm going to go up to my natural smile line. So if I've got it a little less than what I want, I can just go back in. And so I will say these Adrada dip liquids, the dip base is a slower drying dip base, which I actually appreciated for this because I had a little more time to work with it. So you can see here I had to go in a little bit more with my middle finger, and I did have plenty of time to do that. And once I've got my smile line where I want it, I am going to pour over that Milky Purple to absorb the rest of the dip base. And I know purple isn't obviously a traditional color to use for French manicures. Usually it's pink, and I could have used Milky Pink, but I just really wanted to use Milky Purple, and I thought it was sheer enough to where it would work, and I think it actually did work. So I'm actually happy I went with the Milky Purple. And she just recently released, which I think right now it's pre-order and then they release fully on Christmas Day, but she released a glow Milky line. So these Milky colors, like the pink, purple, white, gray, blue, green, I think are our colors. They actually all glow. So I did pre-order some of those because I can't help myself when it comes to glows. So while I'm doing my first layer on the rest of my nails, I'll talk a little bit about this dip base. So as I said before, it is a thinner liquid, so you need to be mindful of that, as well as that they are slower drying. So it's really great if you're doing something like this French tip, or if you're doing an ombre, it gives you time to work with it. But if you're just doing like straight solids, straight glitters, you may not like it as much depending on what your preference is. But the odd thing about these liquids for me is, for some reason, when I was dipping, I was getting like just a little bit of pitting where, I mean, and I don't think you can really tell in this video, but where like there were little dots, like little holes that weren't actually being covered by the powder from the liquids. So I don't know if it's that I had oils on my fingers, but I do have on peel base. So it may have been that the dip liquids didn't like my peel base. I'm not really sure, but you know, it was okay for the second layer. So I'm not really sure what was happening for the first layer, but I don't think it's the dip liquids. I think it was user error. So I'm definitely gonna have to try these again. And I don't say that to scare you away from the Adrada dip liquids, because overall I actually think they're really great. I just want to be honest and share my first impressions and how my first try with them went, because it was just odd to me. But I'm really loving these milky colors, and I'm definitely glad I picked them up. I had been eyeing them for a while, but they're just really easy to work with. And I love that they're just super sheer with just like that little hint of color. So they're really great for like if you want something neutral or just like a little hint of color. I actually think it worked really well for this French manicure. I probably should have done pink, but no regrets, because you know I love my purple. So I definitely think I will pick up more of her colors if they're as easy to work with as this Milky line. But I do have some of the glows pre-ordered because I love a good glow. I forgot to mention, whenever you're doing a French manicure, the way you angle your finger into the powder to create your smile line does create a different look. So it's really a matter of preference on how you want your smile line to look. So if you put your finger in straight up and down, meaning perpendicular to the powder, you would get a very straight smile line. But if you want more of a curved smile line and you want to insert your finger into the powder at more of an angle, similar to what I'm doing here, so more of like parallel to the powder, and the more angled you are, the curvier your smile line's gonna be. So make sure you're paying attention to how you're putting your finger in the powder, and that will determine how your smile line looks and how curved or not curved it is. And when I'm doing my base color, after I've done my smile line, I actually like to pour over, and that way I don't run the risk of contaminating my jar of my base color with any of the excess white powder that I used for my smile line. And don't forget that every time after you do your smile line, you want to even out that powder again and make it flat. And that way it'll create that cleaner line when you go in with your next nail. So now that I've got all 5 fingers done, I'm going to take a stiff scrub brush, and you can see here it felt dry, but I had like little gaps, and I don't know what that, I think it's from, so this is kind of where you see where I had that pitting, because the liquids are dry. I'm feeling it and it's dry, but it didn't get full coverage. So I just don't know if it didn't like my peel base or what it was. But I will say though, anytime I'm using any kind of sheer color, clear, whatever it may be, I always like to make sure I'm scrubbing with a stiff brush, because you can get graininess not just in clear with any sheer color. So that's why I'm using the stiff scrub brush. But I do have those little areas that I'm not sure what happened there, but we'll fix that with the second layer. So now I'm going to do my second layer on all my fingers, and it's going to be a similar process, except now I have kind of a guide for my smile line. So I'm going to apply a thin, even layer of my dip base to my entire nail. And then once I go into my French white for my smile line, I want to try to keep the same angle that I did for my first layer. And then you want to only go up to the line where you originally had it. So you don't want it less and you don't want to go past that, because you want it as even as possible. And so once you get that line where it's kind of lined up to your first, then you can apply your second layer of your base color. I actually really like using the spoonful of chaos for creating my smile line. I don't know why, I just really wanted to try it, but I will say if your nails are longer than what I currently have here, it probably won't work, just because by design it's shallower, so it's really meant for like me creating marbles and less waste, less powders when you're doing marbles. But I just thought it would be fun to try to see if it would work, because I do have on shorter nails at the moment. So if I do have longer nails and I want to create a small smile line, I actually use my Dipped in Chaos, which is the pink you see in the upper corner, which is what I'm using to pour in my Milky Purple. I actually use that because it is at an incline and it actually is designed to do Frenches with, but I just wanted to try something different to see if it would work, and I'm definitely pleasantly surprised that it did actually work. Once I'm done with my second dip, which you can do more if you want, it's just my personal preference to only do two, I'm going to use Adrada's Crystal Clear to cap everything in clear because I don't want to accidentally file through all the hard work that I did. Once my clear is completely dry, I scrubbed it with a stiff scrub brush to get off any of that excess powder, and then I'm going to go in with a generous amount of my Adrada activator. And so the weird thing about this is, which I don't know if I'd say weird, but the brush is a little bit broken. It still works. It's not a deal breaker. It's not a big deal because it is activator, but the neck of the brush has like a little split in it. So then the bristles kind of curved upwards into it, so they're kind of sticking up a little bit, only some of the bristles, which, you know, if it were dip base or the dip top coat, it would be a bigger deal just because I want to be more precise with it and I don't want those on my skin. But because it's activator, it's no big deal because it doesn't matter if I get that on my skin. It was just one of those weird things of how in the world did that happen to the brush, and it was really funny looking. I will say though, the set did come with some extra brushes, so I'll have to check to see if those brushes will also work for activator or if they're only for the dip base and top coat. I went ahead and filed and buffed off camera, so now we're going to get into the fun part with these DIY stickers. So these stickers actually came in my, I believe, November sub bag from Decals by Melissa, and I don't know why, but I've been really loving her DIY stickers lately. So these are like the stringed Christmas lights look. So the black part you see here is the strings, and then the pink and the green on my mat are actually the lights. So you do the string separately and then you attach the lights. So this was really fun to do, and I knew for my next mani I wanted to use these stickers, and I was trying to think of how I wanted to use them, and I just thought it would be really fun to jazz up a French manicure with these lights. So that's what I'm doing here, just for something a little bit untraditional. I thought would be fun. So I will say I did kind of struggle with these stickers. I mean, I had fun with them. I love the way it turned out, but you can kind of see here, like trying to get them to stick to my nail and put them in the place that I want them was a bit of a struggle. So for the rest of my nails, I'll kind of skip past the struggle part, just so you could see how I apply them. But, you know, it was still completely worth it to me because I love the way these turned out. So once I've got the string on, I will take these little bulbs, and then you can kind of see where they've got little places for where the bulbs attach. So I'm going to take the stickers and just attach them there. Which, by the way, if you stick around to the end, you will see a fun surprise about these stickers. Once I'm finished placing all my stickers, I'm going to top it with my Dipalicious Smudge-Free Top Coat, which is an air-dry top coat. And I'm doing this because I really want to try the Adrada Dip Top Coat. But if I went directly over the stickers with my activator for the top coat, I'm afraid it would either eat through the color or just eat through the stickers, and I don't want to risk ruining these really cute stickers. So this smudge-free top coat is going to protect the stickers. So hopefully I can just activate and top coat on top of this smudge-free top coat. And this is what I do for water slide decals and stamping sometimes as well. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to try it on my pinky first, and that way I know whether it's safe to activate and top coat, because I don't want to do it on all my nails and then have to redo everything. So I figure if I have to redo something, it'll be on my smallest finger first. So as the directions say, because they did come with directions for the dip liquids, wait exactly 2 minutes, wipe off with a lint-free wipe or paper towel, and then go in with your dip top coat. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to apply one even layer of dip top coat in 2 to 3 strokes, wipe off my brush on that lint-free wipe, and then I will wait probably maybe like 30 seconds or so until like it looks a little bit wrinkly, a little bit dull, and then I'll go in with my second layer of top coat. So it did okay on my pinky and it didn't ruin my stickers. So now I know that I'm safe to do the rest of my nails. So after I'm done with my pinky, I will activate the rest of my nails. I will wait 2 minutes, wipe them off with a lint-free wipe, and then I will go in with my dip top coat on all my nails. So a couple things I'll say about the dip top coat, and I honestly think it's user error. So I'm saying this more so you learn from my mistakes rather than holding it against Adrada dip liquids, because I actually think they're really excellent, but I think it was all my fault. Is one, the dip top coat took a long time to dry. But I honestly wonder if that's because the activator didn't really play nicely with the smudge-free top coat that I applied. So not only did it take a long time to dry, but it wasn't super shiny. And I've seen other people using these liquids and they were like super shiny, like glass. So I was really confused, and I really think it's because of the process I used. So if I were to do this again, I would just encapsulate my stickers in clear and then go in with my top coat. I don't think it liked the polish smudge-free top coat. So I'll say that, don't do that because it didn't play well. So once I, finished this up with Manny and then I kind of did my outro video, I just wasn't happy with how dull it looked. So I actually went back and I very gently buffed off the top coat. I didn't want to buff off my stickers. And then I went in with my activator and reapplied my top coat. And that's when I got that glass finish shine. Like, so beautiful. So I really do think it was my error and not the liquids. But I just want to call that out again so you can learn from my mistakes and not do it. I was so excited that my order from Scales of a Mermaid came in time for this Manny. So she had a sale as well as a lot of new releases. So I'm using one of her new scents, Unwrap Me. And this one was very nostalgic for me. Like, it reminded me of the incense I used to burn in high school. So yes, I'm probably dating myself. I don't know if people burn incense anymore, but I absolutely love this scent. I actually love every scent that I got from her because of course I had to buy all her new releases because her products are just really wonderful. Especially with the weather getting colder and your skin getting drier, I just love how this rehydrates my skin because, man, my skin is looking ashy these days. And here we are with the finished look. What do you think? If you're still with me, thanks for hanging in there. I know I had a lot to say, but I was doing a lot of different things in this video. So I was trying out a French manicure using the spoonful of chaos for a first time. I was trying out Adrada Dip liquids and powders for the first time. And then I was using these DIY stickers that were fighting with me. So it was definitely an experience, but thank you for hanging in there. I hope this was helpful. And now wait for the surprise. Look at these stickers. So the bulbs of these stickers glow. How fun is that? And they glow pretty bright. So I did do this mani at nighttime. So I did charge it in my UV LED lamp to get this glow. But I will say that I was out today and they glowed by themselves without having charged them in the lamp from the sun. So I will say they do glow even if you don't use a UV LED lamp. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too much, but I wanted to make sure to share all my learnings and my thoughts on the Adrada products because I do think they were really great and I did enjoy using them and I will definitely be using them again. And then stick around. I have some more things, new things that I bought from Black Friday that I do plan on trying out and sharing in this video as well. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this, and it also helps YouTube recommend me to others. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.